Hey there, guys. So, I just got done watching this weekend's fight between Sergey Kovalev and Eleider Alvarez, the rematch. Sergey Kovalev gets his own back and regains his title off Eleider Alvarez. The first fight, Kovalev was winning the fight. However, in my opinion, he overexerted himself in that fight, didn't conserve his energy, and I think that the difference between this fight and that fight was Sergey Kovalev this time was prepared for a hard 12 rounds, whereas the last time I think he was expecting to get a knockout, he was expecting an early night. He kind of thought that Eleider Alvarez couldn't match him, that he didn't have the experience or the skill to really compete with Kovalev. But I think Kovalev underestimated the toughness and the durability of, the very durable and tough Eleider Alvarez. If you're preparing for a guy like that, you really need to consider the possibility that you might have to fight a hard 12-round fight. So thankfully this time Kovalev got back to his fundamentals, he got back to his boxing, and it was one of the best performances of his career in my opinion from a technical point of view. And what really impressed me about Kovalev, and it's something that a lot of people really don't pick up on Kovalev, it's something that's really really underrated about Kovalev, and that is his boxing skill. Like, this guy is a tremendous technical boxer. I think when he's on point, when he's in shape, when he's on a good night, when he's technically prepared, when he's had the right sparring, this guy is incredibly tough to beat in the light heavyweight division. Incredibly tough to beat. I mean, there's certain things he does that several other fighters do that I've noticed. Like, for example, when he throws like a two-punch combination, like he'll throw a 1-2 hook, and then he'll finish off with a nice stiff, snappy jab that he'll throw while his opponent is on the move, like while his opponent's moving backwards after just partially blocking a combination. And then Kovalev just throws that jab and it comes out of nowhere. I remember Carl Frampton does that quite a lot, where he finishes with the nice stiff jab. And Triple G used to do it at his prime, and I think Arthur Abraham used to do it. And a lot of fighters who have solid fundamentals. That's a really effective combination. That nice stiff jab while your opponent's on the move that you'll finish a combination with. And Eleider Alvarez had no response for it, no way of avoiding it for 12 rounds. And pretty much every time that Kovalev would throw that combination, Alvarez just his defenses were falling apart. Alvarez was waiting too long to try and find a home for that overhand right. He couldn't land it as flush like he could in the first fight because this time Kovalev had his faculties about him. Kovalev was defensively aware. I think that the corner work from his new trainer, Buddy McGirt, was very good. He kept Kovalev honest. He kept Kovalev humble. Didn't allow Kovalev to get overly excited. Didn't allow him to waste too much energy early on. And even in the 12th round, Buddy McGirt, you could tell he was very apprehensive about it. It was telling Kovalev to just, be careful going at the 12th round, saying this guy's going to be looking for the knockout. He's going to be going forward. So just keep doing what you're doing in box, but keep your hands up and be aware of counter punches and stuff like that. And I thought it was just a really good corner performance from Buddy McGirt. And yeah, great performance from Kovalev, man. And this guy really is underrated. I mean, as highly regarded as Kovalev is as a fighter and as a knockout puncher, as a technical boxer, right, as an artist in the ring, as a guy with skills, as a guy with technique, he really, really is underrated, and he really is a world-class fighter. And he's just a joy to watch, man. I thoroughly enjoyed watching this fight. It actually made me want to go to the gym. Watching this fight makes me want to go and find some sparring, man. Like, because I mean, it's just pure boxing fundamentals. I mean, on the outside, Sergey Kovalev is just so technically brilliant. Okay, his punches flow beautifully, and I really do think he's underrated. And obviously, there's flaws. Don't get me wrong. He's a flawed fighter. Everybody has flaws, and Kovalev's flaws is, to me, he blows hot and cold. Sometimes you never know what type of performance you're gonna get out of him. Sometimes you'll get a really good performance where he'll be like this fight where he's using his combinations, he's moving around, he's finishing off every combo with a jab. He's also working the body, which is what he did very effectively in this fight. There were a lot of nice straight punches to the body from the outside. at long range, it's very difficult to box with Kovalev because he's got that punching power, but he's also got those long arms that he throws like real nice, snappy straight punches with, and we saw that in the Andre Ward fight, the first one, where on the outside Andre Ward couldn't get anything going. He was on the end of that jab and he got dropped with the long right hand from the outside, so he had to get inside and he had to spoil and foul to try and upset Kovalev and get Kovalev out of his rhythm. You know, he's a guy, Kovalev, who you really have to be tough and gritty to have a chance of beating him. So where would I like to see Kovalev go from here? If I'm being honest, guys, I know that a lot of people won't be interested in this, but I would like to see Kovalev have a third fight with Alvarez, and the reason I say that is because the way it'll look on record, like Kovalev was knocked out in the first fight and then wins the second fight on points. Although we all know he's the better boxer of the two, it would be nice to see him conclusively prove that with a rubber match, a third fight where he can prove he's the better boxer and can prove that the first fight was nothing more than complacency and a bit of a fluke. So I would like to see a third fight. I think a third fight would make sense, maybe in Russia, because he hasn't boxed in Russia for years, so it would be good if he could get a homecoming fight. Obviously, the fight that everybody's going to be talking about is the potential of a Beterbiev fight, because those guys have history. Beterbiev got the better of Kovalev in the amateurs, and I think that's a great fight, man. I really don't know who I'd pick. I think at this stage, I maybe slightly favour Beterbiev in that fight. I just think that Beterbiev to me is at a slightly better stage of his career in terms of punching power and physical strength and durability. But both guys have shown somewhat vulnerabilities. Okay, Beterbiev has been down a couple of times in his career. He was down in his last fight, and Kovalev, as we know, has been down and has been stopped. So Beterbiev against Kovalev is a great fight, man. Really good, grudge match. They could have that one in Russia, real big domestic grudge match over there. Maybe even a Dmitry Bivol fight, another all Russian unification. You've got Vosdik, they got the nice Ukrainian Russian rivalry going on there. But I think those two know each other and are friends. But you never know, the fight could still happen. I wouldn't even mind seeing him fight some other contenders like Callum Johnson or somebody like that. Just let's see how Kovalev is in a couple of title defenses. So yeah, whatever. Let me know what you guys think. I think this was a great performance by Kovalev, and let me know what you guys think. What would you like to see him do? So thanks for watching. God bless.